Imagine walking into a dealership and buying a brand new car for $30,000. Everything seems normal. Millions of people do it every year. You sign the paperwork, drive it home, park it in your driveway, and feel proud of what you've achieved. After all, you've worked hard. You deserve something nice. But what if I told you that this $30,000 car might actually cost you $1 million? Not because anyone deceived you, not because the car secretly costs more, but because of something most people never see, something invisible, something that doesn't show up on the price tag. The strange thing about money is that the highest costs are often the ones we never notice, and every day, people make financial decisions based on what they can see, while completely ignoring what they're giving up. Today, we're going to uncover why a $30,000 car can quietly become a $1 million decision. And once you understand it, you'll never look at major purchases the same way again. Welcome to the channel. Here, we explore the hidden psychology behind money, wealth, success, and the decisions that shape our financial future. Because sometimes the most expensive mistakes aren't obvious. In fact, they often look completely normal. And today's story is a perfect example. Let's see how one purchase can create consequences far beyond its price tag. Before we continue, if you're interested in understanding how money really works, make sure to subscribe. Because this channel isn't about getting rich. It's not about secret tricks or promises that sound too good to be true. It's about understanding the habits and decisions that shape your financial future. Because money isn't just about how much you earn. It's about what you do with what you earn. Two people can make the same income and end up in completely different financial situations. One builds wealth, the other struggles financially. And the difference is often not luck. It's the choices they make every day. The surprising thing about money is that some of the biggest financial mistakes don't look like mistakes at all. They look normal. A monthly payment, a reward for your hard work, small decisions that seem harmless in the moment but can have enormous consequences over time. That's why this channel exists, to reveal the hidden costs and hidden consequences behind everyday financial decisions. Because what if that car is costing you far more than the price on the sticker? What if the real cost isn't $30,000 at all? Let's find out. When people buy something expensive, they usually focus on one number, the purchase price. If a car costs $30,000, they think the decision costs $30,000. Simple, logical, reasonable. But money doesn't work that way because every financial decision has two costs. The cost you can see and the cost you can't. Most people only notice the first one. Let's imagine two friends. Alex and David both have $30,000 available. Alex buys a new car, David doesn't. At first, Alex appears to be making the better choice. He gets something tangible, something he can drive, something he can enjoy immediately. Every morning, he sees the result of his decision sitting in his driveway. David, on the other hand, still has the same money sitting in his account. Nothing exciting, nothing impressive, nothing that turns heads, no compliments, no feeling of instant gratification. And that's why most people would rather be Alex. Humans naturally value immediate rewards. We love seeing results today. We love feeling progress today. Waiting is difficult, especially when everyone around us seems to be enjoying the rewards of spending. The problem is that financial consequences rarely show up immediately. They often arrive years later. And by the time they appear, the original decision has long been forgotten. Nobody looks at a financial struggle 10 years later and immediately connects it to a purchase they made years ago. The connection feels invisible, but that doesn't mean it isn't real, because every dollar spent has a hidden question attached to it. Not, what did this cost me? But, what could this money have become? That's a very different question, and it's a question most people never ask. When Alex spends $30,000 on a car, the money is gone. The car begins losing value almost immediately, month after month, year after year. Meanwhile, David still has his $30,000. And unlike the car, money has the ability to grow. It can earn returns, generate income, and over time, potentially becomes much more than its original value. This is where one of the most powerful concepts in finance begins to appear. Not the cost of spending, but the cost of missing future opportunities. Because the highest financial costs are often the ones we never see. The opportunities we gave up, the growth that never happened, the wealth that never had a chance to exist. And once you start looking at money this way, A $30,000 car no longer looks like a $30,000 decision. It starts looking like something much bigger, and that's where the real story begins. Let's return to David. Instead of buying the car, he invests the $30,000. Nothing fancy, just a diversified investment earning an average long-term return. Now, something remarkable begins to happen. His money starts working, not because he's working harder, not because he's smarter, but because of a concept called compound growth. Money begins to earn money, then those earnings begin to earn money, and those earnings begin to earn money too. The process feels slow at first, almost invisible. For the first few years, nothing dramatic happens, which is exactly why most people underestimate it. But compound growth behaves like a snowball, small at the beginning, powerful later. Year after year, the gap between Alex and David grows wider, not because David is making constant sacrifices, but because he gave his money time, and time is often the most powerful ingredient in wealth creation. The problem is that people see the car, but they don't see the future value of the money used to buy it. One is visible, the other is invisible, and human beings tend to prioritize what they can see. Here's where things become shocking. Most people think the cost of something is whatever they paid for it, $30,000 for a car, end of story. But in reality, every financial decision has two costs: the money you spend and what that money could have become if you had invested it instead. Economists call this opportunity cost, and it's one of the most important concepts in personal finance. Let's imagine two people. Both have $30,000. One buys a brand new car. The other invests the money and continues driving a reliable used vehicle. At first, the car buyer appears to win. They get the new car, the comfort, the excitement, the feeling of success. The investor gets nothing exciting, just money sitting in an account. But fast forward 10 years. The car is older now, its value has dropped, the new car smell is long gone, and most of the excitement has faded. Meanwhile, the investment has been quietly growing, not because of magic, not because of luck, but because of time. And time is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools ever created. Money that's invested doesn't just grow, it can grow on top of its previous growth, year after year. This is the power of compound returns. Historically, investments in broad stock market indexes have often produced strong, long-term returns, although nothing is guaranteed. Over several decades, $30,000 can potentially grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some scenarios, it can approach or even exceed $1 million. Think about that for a moment. The same $30,000. Two completely different futures. One became an aging car, the other became a potentially life-changing asset. And that's when you realize something important. The car didn't just cost $30,000, it cost $30,000 plus the future value of everything the money could have become. Because every dollar you spend today is a dollar that can no longer work for your future. And once you start seeing money this way, you begin asking a different question. Not just, can I afford this? But what am I giving up to buy it? And that question can change your financial life forever. Now, let's be clear. This isn't a video about never buying a car or never spending money. Life isn't about maximizing every dollar. Life is meant to be enjoyed. The real lesson is awareness, because every financial decision involves a trade-off. Every purchase, every upgrade, every luxury. You're not only spending money, you're squandering future possibilities. Most people compare purchases against their current bank account. They ask, can I afford this? But wealthy thinkers often ask a different question. What am I giving up by choosing this? That question changes everything, because affordability and wisdom aren't the same thing. You might be able to afford something today, but that doesn't mean it's the best use of your resources. The wealthiest individuals often understand a simple principle. Every dollar has a job, and the earlier you give that dollar an opportunity to grow, the harder it can work for you. The challenge is that future rewards are invisible. Immediate rewards are not, and that's why so many people choose the car over the investment, not because they're irresponsible, because they're human. The $30,000 car isn't really about cars, it's about perspective. Every financial decision has two prices: the price you pay today and the future you give up tomorrow. Most people only see the first one, very few consider the second, and that difference is often what separates building wealth from simply spending income. The goal is not to avoid enjoying life, the goal is to make conscious choices, to understand trade-offs, to see the hidden costs behind every purchase. Because money isn't just something you spend, it's something that can grow, something that can create opportunities, something that can buy freedom. And sometimes the most expensive purchases aren't the ones with big price tags, they're the ones that quietly take away years of future growth. So before any major purchase, ask yourself not just what it costs today, but what it will cost you tomorrow. The smartest financial decisions aren't always about what you buy. They're about what you choose not to sacrifice. Subscribe for weekly videos that make finance, money, and the economy easier to understand, and always remember that every dollar counts. See you in the next video.